Alright, so this is the political compass test thingy. I saw someone else do this, so I was like, why not do this myself? So yeah, this is kind of just like an about thingy, I guess. Hopefully you guys can kind of read it. I don't know if you guys can really zoom in. Maybe you can zoom in if you're on desktop, but um, I kind of zoomed in for OBS, kind of. I don't know, OBS it does look kind of wonky, but hopefully you guys can kind of read it. But yeah, I'm gonna hit English here. And then here's the actual test thingy. Um, Again, hopefully you guys can kind of read it, okay? Also, there's like no dark mode, which fucking sucks, but okay. Anyways, though, just a few, start with, concerning no less, how do you see the country and world? So this is page 1 of 6. So there's 6 different pages with like however many different questions here. And it's strongly disagree or disagree and then agree or strongly agree. So, if the economic globalization is inevitable, it should try to primarily serve humanity rather than the interest of transnational corporations. It should serve humanity over corporations, I guess. So, yes. If that's how, because, yeah, it should serve humans over corporations. Right, because that's what that's saying, right? So, yeah, I strongly agree that it should focus on taking care of people over corporations. So, yeah, I'd always support my country whether it's right or wrong. Fuck no. If a country is being shit, then I'm not gonna fucking support it. Especially if it's like the government being shitty, or like the people are shitty. Like, I'm not gonna fucking support that. Like, no. I don't care what country it is. If it's a shit country, I'm not gonna support it. Whether I live there or not, why would I support a shit country? Anyways, no one chooses their country. It's foolish to be proud of it. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I'm just gonna say disagree because it doesn't really. I don't know. But anyways, our race has many superior qualities compared to other races. Strongly disagree. Fuck that. Like, I don't care what race you are. If you think your race is like automatically better than other races for XYZ reason, then yeah, fuck that. I mean, white people do have a lot of racism, but like, I don't think anyone's really necessarily better than anyone just because of like skin color and stuff. So, or whatever other reasons. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I, I mean, it really depends on who's the enemy of my enemy. So like, I'm just gonna say this area. Military action that defies international law sometimes justified. No. I don't think you should just go around doing whatever the fuck you want anywhere. There's now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I mean, I feel like, you know, information and entertainment are always kind of intertwined in a way, anyways. So, like, I'm just gonna say disagree. So, yeah, that's page 1. I guess we can go to page 2 now. Alright, let's hit next. here. Page 2 of 6. Now, the economy. We're talking attitudes here, not... Okay. People are ultimately divided more by class than nationality. Fuck you. You have more in common with your poor neighbor that is a completely different race or nationality than you do with the white billionaire or whatever. Usually it's white people that are billionaires, but you know. Yeah, usually the people that are like, oh yeah, billionaires are usually some stupid white guys, so you know, but like your neighbor or whoever down the street that's not the same race or nationality than you, like you have more in common with them than you do a billionaire. So, yeah. Anyways, controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I mean, can't you give people jobs and have inflation be down? I don't know. It's like, can you really agree or disagree with this? Like, I don't. Like, you can't you do both? can't you do both? I'm gonna say disagree, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment, they require regulation. Yes. So many corporations are really fucking shitty that it's kind of just like you have to basically force them to not be shitty. So, you know, from each according to his ability to each according to his need is fundamentally a good idea. So, according to his ability and according to his... This I'm going to say strongly because, you know, people need accommodations, you know? Like, if someone can't walk, they need a thing to help them walk, or a thing to help them move around, you know? Whether it's crutches or a wheelchair or something, like they need something to help them work and do things and live a normal life, you know? So, like, they can't just be on the ground dragging themselves around. That's kind of, like, I mean, maybe they could do that in their own house, I don't know, but, like, out in, like, with other people, it's like they should have something that makes it easier for them to go around. So, yeah. The freer the market, the freer the people. I mean, I guess in a way I can see why that sounds like a good thing, but like, I feel like people who have a lot more will just take advantage of free things more. Like, look at AI. It's, you know, all the corporations jumped on it, and it's like, you guys have so many more resources than other people do. Like, I don't think anyone should be using AI, but like, for all the people that could be using AI, like, the corporations do not fucking need AI. Like, you are literally replacing people who need jobs with this fucking garbage. Like, bro. So, yeah, I don't know about that one. It's a sad reflection on our society that something as basic as drinking water is now bottled, branded, and consumer product. Yeah, like, water should be a basic thing that everyone should have for free. Like, that shouldn't be something that you have to buy, you know? Like, you should just automatically get water, because, you know, you're a living person that needs water, you know? Like, we can't just not have water. So, like, and yeah, it's a sad reflection of how people view things. Like, everything's money for these people. Even basic human needs are all about money. So it's, what the fuck? Anyways, land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. Like, yeah, but also at the same time, there's like everyone should have houses and stuff. Everyone should have a roof over their head, you know? But for someone to have land, I don't know, because like there's like private property and stuff where it's like, you know, you shouldn't be like walking on other people's property and stuff and just doing whatever the fuck you want on someone else's land. So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to go with strongly agree though. Anyways, it is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to their society. Yeah. Like, people are just manipulating things to gain the system, and then they just do not give anything back to anyone. Like, look at all the billionaires. They're just sitting on piles and piles of money when there's so many people that could use that money. Like, you could take $1 billion from one of the billionaires and just use it to feed starving people, and they would still have enough money for themselves. Or you could take $500 million and feed a shit ton of people, and they'd still have enough money. So it's just, what the fuck? Protectionism is sometimes necessary in trade. Okay, this one I'm gonna say strongly disagree. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver profit to its shareholders. You should do more than just that. Bruh. The rich are too highly taxed. Strongly disagree with that. The rich aren't taxed enough. You could tax them more money than the rest of the people, and they'd still have a shit ton of money. Also, you should tax the churches, because churches have too much fucking money, so yeah. You could feed so many people if you tax the church and the rich people. You could save so many fucking people. Also, universal healthcare, hello, like, a lot of places have universal healthcare, but then, like, America fucking doesn't. And it's like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? The US fucking sucks compared to a lot of places. So, anyways, those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. No. Like, if someone can't pay for medical care, then why the fuck would you give them shitty medical care? That's just fucking horrible and inhumane. What the fuck? Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. Yes, like, if a business is shitty, then they should get bonked for that. Fuck that. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator to create monopolies. Right, yes. Like, monopolies aren't really great for anything. Also, it's predatory shit, so yeah, you need restrictions on that shit, so yeah. Anyways, that was page 2. Now we have to go to page 3. Hello, next page, please. Now look at some of your personal social values. Alright, so, abortion, when a woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. Strongly disagree. Like, it should always be legal, no matter what. It's healthcare, so it should be legal. Like, I don't... Whether or not the person's life is at risk shouldn't matter. It should always be given to them. Like, they should be able to have an abortion if they want to. Also, it's like, if it's not me that's whatever, then why should I have a say in what someone else does if they want to get an abortion or not? Like, I shouldn't have a say in what someone else does with their body. So, like, you know, they should be able to do it if they want to, or if they don't want to, then they don't have to, you know? Anyways, the next one says all authority should be questioned. Strongly agree. Fuck authority. Obviously, with all authority should be questioned, like, you know, obviously there should be, like, good, like, laws and stuff. Like, obviously there should be laws against killing and stuff, and there should be laws against, you know, other horrible things like that, like abuse and stuff. But when it comes to other things that aren't so bad, like, you know, fuck that. And then an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Cause, like, you know, obviously if someone does something horrible, then there should be the right amount of consequence for it. But then there's, like, if someone murders, should they get the death penalty? Like, that's kind of a big one there. Where it's like, I don't know, I feel like they should just, like, if someone kills a bunch of people, they should get life in prison, you know? I don't know if they should really die for it, but they should at least be locked away where they won't hurt anyone else. So, I mean, I guess kind of agree there. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. I mean, if my tax money is going to go anywhere, then I'd rather go to theaters and museums than, like, you know, people bombing other people or some shit, you know? So, like, you know. And then, schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. I mean, you kind of should have to go to school. Like, you shouldn't have a compulsive thing of, like, I'm not gonna go to school today, or I'm gonna go to school today because I feel like it, or whatever. Like, you should be, like, you know, required to go to school. Especially since, you know, a lot of people seem to not know a lot of shit. Like, I can't believe I go, like, you know, how many people I've seen where they're, like, surprised that this or that animal has nipples as a male animal. Like, a lot of people somehow are apparently surprised that male cats have nipples. And it's like, or male dogs too. Like, I've seen both with people where they're like, this person was surprised that our male cat had nipples, or this lady was confused about her male dog having nipples. And it's just like, human males have nipples. Why would other male animals not have nipples? Like, it's one of the things that makes mammals mammals. Like, I feel like you learn this pretty early on at school. So like, I feel like people need to go to school. So, you know, all people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep their own kind. What? That sounds a little... What the fuck? Huh? Like, this does sound very, like, we should segregate people. So it's, like, really fucking weird here. But also, you know, rich people should fuck off to their own place. But, yeah, this sounds really fucking weird, where it's like, oh, you should separate everyone. Like, yes, people should have rights and stuff, but like, I don't know, it sounds really weird. I don't know, the wording is really weird, so I'm just gonna say it's weird, because the wording is just really fucking weird. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. I'm gonna say big no on that, because you're literally hurting a child, you're hitting someone. Like, if hitting another adult is, like, you know, abuse or assault or whatever, then why is it not the same for a child? Would you spank them? Like people do be like, oh, if the kid's gonna hurt themselves by touching something, I should smack their hand away. But it's like, maybe you should just, like, pick them up. You're bigger than them. You can, like, pull them away. You don't have to fucking hit them to make them stop trying to grab something that's gonna hurt them or kill them. Like, you can just grab their arm and move them away and be like, that's bad, that's gonna hurt you. You know? You don't have to fucking hit them to make them learn. Like, that's usually not how they learn anyways. Hitting is just gonna hurt them, but they're not gonna learn from that. Take it from someone who was spanked. I didn't learn from being spanked. I don't even remember most of the shit that I was hit for. I just remember being hit. Like, you know? You don't learn from it, you just remember being hit. So, like, yeah, no. It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Yes. As someone who still hasn't told my parents about certain things, yeah. I have plenty of shit that I don't tell, like, anyone, basically. So, yeah. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. Yes, because marijuana, I mean, it depends on the person, but, like, it's not really bad. Like, I mean, obviously, some drugs do different things for certain people, but, like, overall, I don't think marijuana is one of those drugs that is really that bad for people. So, you know, the prime function of schooling should be to equip future generations to find jobs. Now, I do think school should have a thing where it teaches kids how to, do stuff with money and, whatever with jobs and stuff, but that shouldn't be like the prime thing. Like, that shouldn't be like the main thing for schools to do. Like, yeah, they should teach, that should be part of schooling, but it shouldn't be the main thing. The main thing for schooling should be teaching kids how to do many things, and learning and understanding the world around you, and knowledge, and all these different things. Not just, oh hey, here's how to get a job. Like, yeah, no. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce. Fuck, no. Fuck that. Like, just because I'm autistic, that doesn't mean I should not have kids if I wanted kids. Now, I don't want kids, but if there's other autistic people out there who do want kids, you shouldn't be restricted from having kids just because you're autistic. Or just because I'm dyslexic or whatever doesn't mean I should be stopped from having kids just because my kids might end up being dyslexic too. Again, I don't want kids, but like, if someone else is dyslexic and they want kids, they should be able to have kids. Most important thing for kids to learn is to accept discipline. That sounds very sus. I'm gonna say strongly disagree. No. Also, it's like, what do you mean by discipline? Like, a lot of people have different things of what discipline is, so that sounds very weird. There's no savage and civilized people. There's only different cultures. Yes. Like, no one's savaged or civilized just because they live in a different place or have a different way of living. I mean, I guess some stuff can be whatever, but like, when it comes to cultures, yeah, no one's that. Like, I would say, I mean, I guess because other cultures do technically eat people, don't they? But like, I don't know, cannibalism is kind of what the fuck for me, because I don't do it, but I think, other cultures, there are at least a couple other cultures, right, that do that, so I don't know, but anyways, I'm just not gonna, I'm just gonna move on from that one. Those who are able to work and refuse opportunities should not expect society's support. I mean, if they're able to work and they refuse to work, I mean, here it's kind of a tricky situation, but at the same time, it's like you shouldn't just leave people behind just because they don't work. Like, what about stay-at-home moms and stuff? Like, if someone, or stay-at-home dads even, like, they shouldn't be left behind by society just because they're a stay-at-home parent. So, like, disagree? Like, I mean, there are some of those people where it's like, they just don't want to fucking work because they want to sit at home and play video games. I mean, I point out that stereotype because a lot of people talk about that stereotype of like, oh, it's just some man-child that wants to stay at home and play video games all day. But there do be some people like that, and it's kind of just like, bro, why? So I don't know. That one's a little, like, you could kind of be helping out a little bit. I don't know. When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. I'm gonna say no. Like, you should deal with stuff, like, if you need to cry, you should cry. If you need to whatever, then you should whatever. Like, if you need to go to therapy, go to therapy, you know? Like, get help that you need, not just try to distract yourself with other things, because that can also be, like, a really bad coping mechanism. First generation immigrants can never fully integrated within the can never be fully integrated within their new community. What? I'm gonna strongly disagree with that. Like, if someone feels like they're not part of the community, then that's one thing. But like saying that they can never be fully integrated into the community is kind of like a bro. And then, okay, the next one. What's good for the most successful corporations is always ultimately good for all of us. I mean, there's not really anything good about corporations, so I'm gonna strongly disagree. No broadcasting industry, however independent is content should receive public funding. I mean, it should receive. I think it should receive funding from, right? Like, even if it's independent, or like it has independent content. Like PBS, for example, now, like, they should receive funding. So, like, I would say strongly disagree, because it's saying no broadcasting thing should receive funding, or public funding. So, like, you know, I would say no, like, it should receive funding, because, like PBS, you know, they should receive funding. So, yeah, anyways, next page. Page 4 now. So that was page 3, this is page 4 now. How you see wider society. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. For this one, I don't think it's that it's being curbed by just this. I mean, it's a lot of things. Like, they're being curbed for multiple things. So I guess I'll do that, but you know, it's also more than just that. So, you know, a significant advantage of one-party state is that it avoids all of the arguments that delay process in democratic. But you shouldn't have a one-party state. That's bad. That's bad. Bro, what? That's just bad overall, though. To have just one party. Like, even if it avoids the arguments and delays and stuff, it's still bad to just have one party thing. So, bruh. Like, having this one party thing, that's like a fascist thing. Like, you should be able to have options. Like, I don't care if it avoids arguments that delay stuff. I don't want it to just be one thing. Like, you shouldn't have it be in a chokehold of this one thing. So, Um, bro. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. I strongly disagree. Like, like, even if you're doing nothing wrong, you still need some level of privacy and, your own whatever. Like, I don't, like, even just the thought of being watched all the time, like, even if you're a good person, that just feels wrong and horrible. Like, if I knew if I was like, oh, I'm constantly being watched, there's like cameras and microphones everywhere and all of that, like, I would just be like, still, I just, no, I don't want anything to do with that. That's, yeah, no. That's fucked. Like, especially now with like the whole age verification thing that's going on, like, basically everywhere now, and they're like, oh, you have to upload your ID or your selfie or whatever in order to get access to, adult content or whatever. Or like, oh, we gotta make sure you're not a kid, so, you have to upload this thing, and it's like, I just want to watch videos on YouTube. I don't want to have to upload an ID or anything just to watch videos on YouTube. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, even if I'm not doing anything bad on YouTube, like, I still don't want to, like, put personal information on YouTube. Like, that's, no. The death penalty should be an option for most serious crimes. I did kind of bring up the death penalty earlier, and now they actually talk about it here. Okay. This one, it's like the government should protect people, but it shouldn't be like killing people. Like, you can lock them away forever. So, like, just make sure they don't get out. Just make sure they're locked away for the rest of their life. They don't, like, you can protect people without killing people, Anyways, in a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded? No. No. Ew. That just sounds like slavery and all that garbage that should be left behind. So, yeah, no. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. That's the entire point of art, is that, it's not that it doesn't represent anything at all. It's, like, all art represents something, Like, just because you don't get it doesn't mean it means nothing. So, like, it's still art. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. In a way, I like. Punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. They should be equally important. Like, they should do the time for what they did, and then they should be, you should try to get them to come back to reality, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. You should try to get them to be able to live a normal-ish life, even if they might not be able to come back out from being in jail or whatever. Like, you should still try to get them to be somewhat more of normal living, I guess. It's a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminals. This one, I mean, like, I feel like, yeah, most could be rehabilitated, but, I mean, some of them might be kind of the last cause. I don't know. Because, like, there's that whole thing of, like, anyone can change no matter what, but I don't know. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer. No. Nope, the writer and the artist should be the number one thing when it comes to that. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. No. Just because someone is born with a uterus and boobs and whatnot doesn't mean that their first thing should always be having children and making food and whatnot. Fuck that. Like, they did not choose to be born with those parts, so why the fuck should they be forced to do that? That's fucking stupid. So, strongly disagree with that. And then the next thing, almost all politicians promised economic growth, but we should heed the warnings of climate science and that growth in efforts to curb global warming. Yeah, because, you know, we should always be listening to scientists and stuff. Like, science is very important, and global warming very, like, bad for us, so we should focus on that, and, like, fuck what the politicians say. They're not scientists, so why the fuck should we listen to them? Like, bro, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to whatever shit, so, like, economic, yeah, that's, like, money and stuff, right? So, like, but, like, you know, I feel like this is more important than fucking money, you know? Making peace with the establishment is an important aspect of maturity. I mean, like, they don't want to make peace with me, so why should I make peace with them? Like, at the end of the day, corporations and establishments do not give a shit about people. So, like, why should I give a shit about them? You know? They don't care about people like me. Anyways, next page, 5 of 6. If you get through that, okay, you find, okay, stuff about religion. I was kind of wondering if there's going to be anything about religion in here. Astrology accurately explains many things. Like, I've seen some stuff where it's kind of accurate, but then I've seen other stuff where it's not really accurate, so I'm just gonna... You cannot be moral without being religious. Fuck off. You do not need religion to be a good person. Just like you know, you can be a bad person while being religious. Like, there's a lot of Christians that are really shitty people. So, like, you know, charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuine. I mean, it depends on the charity. So, like, I don't know. Because some charities are not very good, so... I feel like I'm gonna kind of disagree, because, like, yes, charity is good, but I feel like charity is such a wobbly thing that, I don't know. Some people are naturally unlucky. I don't know. Because I feel like, I mean, I guess it depends on if you believe in luck or not, or unluck or unlucky, whatever. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of bullshit for me, so I don't know. It's important that my child's school instills religious values. No. Like, schools should not have anything to do with religion. Like, I mean, when it comes to like teaching history and stuff, sure, we can talk about religions when it comes to history. Or if it talks about like, you know, other places and other whatevers, and I guess that too, then whatever. But like, you should not be pushing a specific religion on people. Like, you should not be pushing Christianity on kids. You should not be pushing Islam on kids. You should not be pushing any religion on kids. So, you know, if you're just talking about different religions and like, oh, some people believe in this, some people believe in that, whatever, then sure. But like, if you're pushing a specific thing onto kids, then fuck off. Alright, 6 of 6, finally. Look. Okay. Oh. This kind of sucks. Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral. Fuck no. Like, marriage is a made-up thing by people. Sex is just a normal thing that people do. Marriage is kind of pointless, I think. So, yeah, I don't know. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of adoption. So they should not be excluded from child adoption. Yes. Like, if there's 2 men or 2 women that want to adopt a child, then they should be able to adopt a child. Alright, porn depicting consenting adults should be legal for adult population. I mean, I guess if they're both consenting, or I guess if there's more than 2, then if they're all consenting adults, then sure. But also some porn stuff is like a little iffy, so you know, some people do some weird shit, so I don't know. Anyways, what goes on in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Strongly agree. Yeah, like what 2 people do in their own house should not, like, you know, unless it has to do with you, like, you know, like if you're not there, you should not be having any thoughts of what the fuck they're doing there. So, yeah. Anyways, next one is no one can feel naturally homosexual. What? Being gay is completely normal. You can't just suddenly wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm gay. Like, it's a completely normal thing, so, yeah. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. I mean, it's kind of an important thing to talk about. So, I mean, some stuff has gone a little far, but I feel like it's important to talk about that stuff and important for people to be able to express themselves. Like, obviously it should be within their own whatever with other consenting adults, and you know, you shouldn't be like out in the public with it and stuff. Like, you know, the whole thing with kink at Pride, like, I don't really whatever with that shit. Like, keep that in your house. Why do you have to parade it around at Pride Month? Like, I get kink is a big part of Pride, but like, not everyone wants to see that stuff, so, you know. Anyways, though, let's see where I'm at. Okay, this is just talking about it, I guess. It shows different things, I guess. My political compass. I'm down here, which makes sense. Like, I'm whatever. I can't imagine ever being up here at all or over here. Like, I can't imagine being in these other places here. Like, that's just, yeah. And then show chart in a separate window for printing. Claim your free political compass certificate. Okay. But yeah, whatever. And then you can donate if you want, I guess. But yeah. Cool, I guess. You know, I mean, I already kind of knew, like, I would probably end up over in this, whatever. But, and then show chart and separate window. I guess if I wanted to print it or whatever, then I could do that, but, whatever. I don't need to print it, so, you know. Anyways, I guess that's it. If you wanted to do this yourself, it's just the political compass test. You can look it up and it'll be there, so yeah, anyways, I guess that's kind of it for that. I do actually have one more thing that I want to do though, so that'll be right after this, I guess. I know this video is already kind of a long video, but I want to kind of talk about this book. It's not sponsored for this video, but I felt like it was kind of an important thing for this video. It kind of goes with the theme of the video, and it's, you know, kind of important for the times that we are living in right now. But it's the On Tyranny 20 Lessons from the 20th Century book by Timothy Snyder. I guess that's whatever with the author there. But yeah, so on the back, I just want to read what's on the back right now. Maybe in a different video I'll talk about what's in it, but not like, I'm not gonna like read that full book because I don't want to take away like, you know, sales and stuff from the author, because, you know, you should read it if you want to read it. It's kind of a small-ish book. It's, you know, it probably won't take you that long to read. But I just want to read the back right here. Maybe in a future video I'll kind of talk a little bit more about whatever, like in a different video that's kind of like this. I might be like, oh, here's the first lesson and kind of talk about it, but not like read the book word for word because I don't want to take away from the author. So yeah, I want, you know, if you want to buy it, then you should buy it and read it, and yeah, so anyways, on the back it says, there's a New York Times thingy on it, so it says the author is a rising public intellectual unafraid to make bold connections between past and present. So that's what the New York Times says there. And then on the back of the book it also says, the founding fathers tried to protect us from the threat they knew, the tyranny, from the threat they knew, the tyranny that overcame ancient democracy. Today, our political order faces new threats, not unlike the Tanatorianism, I can't even say words right now, of the 20th century. We are no wiser than the Europeans who saw democracy yield to fascism, Nazism, or the communism. Our one advantage is that we might learn from their experience. From On Tyranny. So that's, I guess, supposed to be a quote or whatever in here. I haven't really fully read it yet, so I don't completely know whatever. I mean, I did kind of read through it, but not like fully yet. But, you know, I'm going to, and I wanted to kind of share it because I know like the context in this book, like everything that's the content in the book. Like, I know there's stuff in there that's important, but I just wanted to read the back of it as a whatever for this video, because yeah, it's important. Like, you know, we need to learn from the past and hope we don't make the same mistakes, but it feels like a lot of people insist that we repeat the past or like, you know, have it echo from the past or whatever, but yeah, I feel like this book is kind of important. So if you want to get it yourself, I think you can get it online. You should be able, yeah, you should be able to get it online or maybe at whatever bookstore, wherever you can find books or something. So yeah, it's just On Tyranny, 20 Lessons from the 20th Century. So yeah, and then I might talk a little bit more about it in another video that's kind of like this, because it makes sense for a video like this to have stuff from a book like this. So yeah, I might just talk about like the chapters, but not like go into like reading all of it, because yeah, I don't know. You should read it yourself if you really want to, but yeah. So anyways, that'll be it for this video. And yeah, so I guess bye then.